Hey all, happy Father's Day to you fathers and you stepfathers, you father figures, those that give back to the fathers for people who have never had fathers, grandfathers, everybody. Time in California is 1:19 p.m. And yes, my eyes are puffy. Yes, I've been crying. Yes, I'm not trying to make this about me. There's a lot of people on my page who don't have fathers anymore and who have gone through situations, and it's hard to accept certain concepts. And I don't care how much time goes on, I'm not going to sit there and apologize for shit. I am venting right now. This is my journal. And even on Daddy's Day, my Father's Day, and I'm watching that candle dance, something happened this morning. I woke up with tears in my eyes from a dream I had. My daddy's always with me. There's a reason why I have John 3:16 through 17 on my leg. They change forms. They don't ever leave you, but they change forms. And it's hard because you physically want to sit there and chop it up with them, have some drinks, sit there and chop it up, you know what I'm saying, get lectured, all kinds of stuff. But that person who was a huge figure in your life is no longer here, but still trying to make contact with you. So you practitioners and you priestesses and you priests, you fratters, you understand what I'm talking about right now. It runs in our bloodline. It's going down. So I'm not doing so well today. I'm not going to lie. There's some things that triggered me. And I have to be honest with some things. I sent out the Happy Father's Day cards or texts to certain people. And not trying to be dramatic. Y'all not going to sit there like, even for Robin Williams, even for like Kevin Hart, we can laugh and smile through our pain. We all have a story. So don't think I'm doing no pity party bullshit. I'm going through, I'm trying to process what I'm going through right now. So if I cry, no apologies for that part. If I feel frustrated and act out, no apologies. And I wanted to go see my dad today. Because even though it's just a vessel, it's still the energy that's still connected with certain things that's in there tied to him. And it goes into metaphysics and metaphysicism. But my mother fucked that up. So I have a mix of emotions right now. The same person who I have a domestic violence order against. And karma really is a bitch. And I'm not trying to wish anything bad on her. Out of everybody who's raped me or molested me, whatever happened to me in my life, I always wanted to have a relationship with my mother until I found out that that really was the source of everything that happened to me. Because I was never protected. I had to protect my damn self. You know, I forgive a lot. Even for today, it's hard for a few different reasons for today. Karma's a bitch. And there's a reason why I'm very apprehensive about going to see my dad's resting place, because out of all the places she could have put my brother, who was the one who took my virginity as a child and raped and abused me, I'll sit there and visit my dad every weekend and bring him some flowers and put a card. And some of you guys remember some of my posts on my Facebook. But ever since I laid my brother to rest, and I still had to be my brother's keeper, I haven't been back there. Daddy and grandmother's place was my resting place. Grandma was upstairs. Uncle Big John on the other side. But the person who caused me that much pain is now in the same place where my dad is. And so sure, I'm looking at him right now and he surrounds me. I'm always feeling my dad around me. But that was my sanctuary. But my mom always had a way of exploiting me to my abusers. I look at things, so even for yesterday, I'm going to sit there and update my Facebook. Because this time, a couple years ago, after she went crazy, after she's abused my brother, my stepbrothers, tried to kill my dad, my stepdad, all the stuff that happened to her, you know, I never, you know, some people you guys know, you practitioners and priestesses offline, not 5150 by far, can see what I'm capable of. Funny how karma works. And I would never wish anything bad on my mother. I love her. I forgive her. But she has to live the consequences of her actions, which she is. And it broke my heart to see her at Foods Co. a month ago. Yeah, she's aging horribly. And I said, whatever in your soul, that's not even you. There's a reason why she has night terrors and things like that. And before I even realized what my gifts were. My mama is not right. And it's taking a toll on her body horribly on the outside too. So now whatever's on the inside eating her out, as far as like the evil and malevolence, whatever else going on, is coming out. She was so beautiful before. See, we got to remember my mother. And I warned her. My daddy knew too. I pray for my son because he's caught in the middle, but he sees it too. My blood still runs through his veins, so he sees some things a lot. So my mama lost her mind. So even for this time yesterday, a couple years ago, you know, my mom's been to Santa Rita at 70-some years old because she's so used to being the one who bullies and beats up on people and the pure narcissist, the mommy dearest on steroids. And where she thought she had power to sit there and do things for the wrong reason is caught up with her. So I looked at a picture I took a couple years ago. Because after my brother's murder, my brother's passing, not murder, my dad was murdered. She lost control. She lost her mind. You have a whole lot of guilt in you, don't you? The same child you said you loved, but still condemned and beat the hell out of every day, and tried to have me institutionalize him, and you didn't want to sit there and face that cognitive dissonance, as we call it. She has a lot of guilt. So even if she were to see grandma, her mother, not grandmother. Grandmother is daddy's mom. She will have to go to that place, the resting place, and see him every day and knowing that she has guilt because she mistreated all her kids. We wanted to love her so bad and try to. But every time she would attack me, I was a psychological and verbal and even like physical punching bag. And that's Capricorn, Cub. I'll hit him up in a second. And I appreciate him too. But, you know, my mom has a lot of guilt right now. And it's funny how guilt will eat you up because all you have to do is do the right thing and face your fears, tell the truth, and be better. But not everybody can do that. I love how demons play out. And people warn me of that, but to actually watch it, it's interesting to see how karma plays out. So a couple years from yesterday's date, I have pictures I'm going to post on here later of every time my mom attacked me, something unfortunate would happen to her. And no, I never wish anything bad on my mom. I just pray for you to be a better person and may God bless you. And all of a sudden she'd have kidney stones, hospitalized because she had to have gallbladder stones removed and have her gallbladder removed. And all of a sudden she had these head issues, all these things unfortunately would happen to her. But I never wished on her. But see, this is where protection comes from because whenever somebody has ill intent on you, return the energy back to them. It's funny how things work. And I got caught on my memories on this day from my Facebook. So I have a couple things here. My heart is really open for a few reasons. For Don Taylor, my ex, is no longer, who is still not letting go of me, and I know that. Constant confirmation story of my life. But this time, by August, I had 2 babies that never made it. And he planned for those babies. He wanted a baby so bad, never had kids. And how is it that my tubes have been tied since 2011 and he got past that right tight, not quite tight tube? It could have been a what if. And so part of me wants to sit there and say Happy Father's Day because, I look at some things too, but he's no longer. But still reaching out for me though. We're no longer. I need him to let me go. And what hurts even more is about my dad. That's the hard part. And it hurt me today because I still say thank you, Daddy, as I watch my candles dance. Because he sent me his brother, Uncle Bob, this morning. Even to hear from him meant a lot. Some of you guys remember the circumstance of what my dad passed away from because he was murdered on his birthday, and even the whole huge fiasco that happened around it, even after. I had to go over the mayor, city of Oakland, OPD, fuck Chief Batts, and fuck Howard Jordan. And I'm glad Howard Jordan got whatever he's going through right now. Karma's a bitch. As I sat at the table with him. Some of you guys saw me, for some of your officers on my page have seen what the fuck I've gone through with my dad's murder and were there from day one. I hit you back, boo. Yeah, I'm going through a lot of trauma right now. Some of you guys remember, I miss my dad. I miss my dad. A lot of you guys on this page identify with the loss of a parent, and it's not easy. That's why I send certain roses to certain people and they handle things a certain way and checking on my God, bro. I'm still checking him later too. Because even as he's a good father, a damn good father. He lost his dad the same month I did, a year apart. It's not fun. And so out of me being abused and all the shit I went through, my daddy was my everything. That's the one who never did no shady anything like that. You feel me? And my dad prepared me for my journey because even as I rebuild myself, it hurts a lot. Ever since his funeral and even I do a closed casket because of what I went through. Because the same person who had him murdered has the same birth date as my mother, who I have a domestic violence restraining order against. There's a lot of shit going on. If my dad ever dates a Sagittarius ever again, I'm going to sit there and have to slap him up in the next lifetime. It's going down. But I'm having a replay of things because whatever dream I had this morning, I know my dad is still here, but you can't physically see him or actually physically hear him, hear his laughter, even smell his scent, even though you smell the scent pass by. It's like you're here, but I can't hug up on you. I miss my dad. I have mixed emotions right now. It's too hard to see him because I can always visit him. It's just a vessel, and whatever that box and the energy is still tied to that. And he's all around me even right now. I'm covered in like goose pimples. But just that sacred space, my mom always had a way of exploiting and just overdoing shit. So the safe space I had, where I had daddy and grandmother downstairs, safe space. Grandma upstairs, Al Davis and TJ Hooker on the next level up. Uncle Big John over there on the other side. I have all kinds of family members in the cemetery. She could have taken my brother anywhere else. But as you know that this person sit there and traumatize me and rape me, abuse me, and try to kill you too. I can't have a place of peace anymore. So I really have not seen my dad in that space for like over a year plus. I tried to. It was too traumatizing because my brother's there. Ever since my brother was been buried, since his funeral, I have not been back. I tried, no, maybe one time was too hard. It's too hard. But my sacred space has been violated. And even though I forgive my brother, I'm still my brother's keeper. It's too much trauma that's going on in my life. And I look at certain things, so I'm triggered because, you know, everybody has a story, and we all remember memories of our parents. And it's weird because I really do appreciate Capricorn Cub, or my Uber driver, who hit me up, and I'm hit it back later. Because between him and my son, they have very similar stories, very similar. And I get that. But some people have journeys where it's just hard to let go because the person never hurt you. You're everything. The one who uplifted you, the one who always supported you, all that, like your bestie. Sometimes certain holidays hit you worse than others. So for Daddy's birthday, it's hard. For Valentine's Day, it's especially hard because my dad was always my Valentine. Carrie said they give you some seeds, chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Every year since I was a little girl. Mother's Day, my birthday especially. July 4th, because my dad loved to barbecue. Things like that, Memorial Day, and like, you know what I'm saying, it was going down. My dad was an awesome dude. Some of you guys remember him. And Father's Day. Some of you guys remember my dad. We all had good dads, but I miss him because as I have been brought to this place, as I lost everything, the same thing he went through, he prepared me. Not just by what he told me, but by his own actions and seeing his journey. The same thing that my mom did to me, she did to him. I try to do to others. My mom has a pattern. She's sick. But I remember from property management, as he bought properties, we had built our businesses, and just for the energy that surrounds me, and I'm safe, and just certain things that remind me so much of him. Him and hardwood floors, and certain pieces of furniture, certain smells, even the cabinets, even for those that surround me, my daddy's always here. It reminds me of the things we used to do. Working under the house to sit there and fix pipes and get the properties together, all kinds of stuff going on. My dad would give me the weirdest things to sit there and fix, as far as like even for taxes. We sat there and beat that too, you know what I'm saying, for Nato Mali back in the day. And even for legal projects, my dad, how I'm so good in paralegal work is because I learned from my father. Where my mom, I'm gonna go there in a second. Where my dad, when he went through the divorce of my dad's always been a solid cat. You guys have known that too. So you guys know my dad offline. My dad's always been solid. My mama was a host. Whatever Yancey said, he meant that shit. I agreed. Even my daddy, before he passed away, even her own husband right now, the stepdad, the abuser, even he confirmed. But my dad's always been solid. He taught me to do things as I do, not as I say. And do the right thing, be honest, be loyal, work hard, whatever else. My dad helped to build my dreams. Even if I didn't want to see all the dreams and have my own thing going on, my dad still for me. And so when it came to paralegal work or legal work, and this is with me being, so you guys see me as a paralegal. I'm a beast right now. I'm a Doberman, I know. But with my dad, the divorce started in 1986. Was it 86 or 88? It was before Yancey got graduated from Oakland Tech, my brother. But during the divorce, and my mama did some shady ass shit. My mama's shady. My dad was like, versus what your mama says, let me show you what's going on. My dad wrote out all the receipts. I mean, paperwork. He made me study some shit, and not just, he wanted me to see things for myself, not based off of he said, she said, this is what is going on. I love how the truth works. I love that my dad always brought the best out of me. Even for the gift of music, I love that. For whatever I'm attracting right now, the gift of music. So even for when he moved to his spot, his little bachelor pad the first time on Mountain Boulevard, and my dad had a cool ass spot, you know what I'm saying? But my dad, even though I played piano and started to play organ after the fact, my dad used to play the French horn, but he always had this gift for music, even for listening. So even for the Saturdays, right now, all day today, I'm bumping all kinds of old school jams because it all reminds me of my dad. Regardless, it's just things that make you happy. Some of you guys remember waking up on Saturday morning, so to sit there and do chores. While you working on paper, just play some jams, it's going down. But my dad would play a variety of music. So it was not just about, my dad used to love KBLX back in the day. Some of y'all remember that. But then he would also put on classical LPs. And he would make you see, I sit down in the chair and he like, what do you feel the message from this music? What's the story that's being told in the song that's being played? And my dad inspired me in jazz and blues. And then taking it up to Donna Summers, all kinds of stuff going on. Sade, all kinds of stuff going on. My dad was cool. It's just hard to go up there and see him in person. And I have a confession too. So for my dad, because my mom's side of the family, my whole side, I cut that off. And for daddy's side, we're all in the South and spread out all over the place, but we don't keep in contact because we're almost gone. I don't have my brother anymore. I had to lay him to rest too. And I know it killed him a lot. Now I understand the pain. I'm in a way, and no, I'm not going to sit there and kill myself. No, I'm not going to do no self-harm. But I am jealous of my brother because at least he's over there with my dad. After my dad's murder and how things happened, we both took it hard. It's some things my son will never understand. Even the weekend before his murder, the night before his murder, all the stuff and how it happened. I'm not doing too good today. But my brother, even after my dad's passing away, my dad, even the month before he was murdered, on his birthday by the same person, the same birthday as my mother, and they have the same fucking patterns of behavior. Oh God. My dad came over in the truck he was murdered in. Because some of you guys remember how my dad would sit there, do old school restoration type of old school, muscle cars. My dad was cool as hell. Yes, August nights. My dad was cool. My dad wasn't a player, but he had some game though. You know what I'm saying? My dad was cool. And we talked about some stuff about that too. Because the person who had him killed tried to set him up, and we knew some things. But where's it going with this? So after my dad passed, a month before he passed away, he came over to my house. My dad would just show up, just call whenever. He don't care. He don't care. Keep in mind, my dad passed away on 3/16 of 2011, and I'm the baby girl I'm the baby girl. So even if I have one older biological brother, I still have two older stepbrothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm the baby girl. I'm very protected over. But that just pop up. He don't care who's there. He don't care about the husband, whatever else, whatever, what's up. I love my dad. But he came up there with pink slips, and I don't know why I was always expected to fix everything. So between my mom and my dad, because daddy prepared me well, my mama knew my dad was a boss. He trained his cub right. I'm a Doberman for a reason. And for the litigations that came with, even for me, we were a small business, even making six figures at that point. And whatever daddy said, I did. I did whatever. I'm a daddy's girl. And whatever daddy says, I do. Don't ask questions, even though I have some. And that's the big guilt trip thing right now, too, because I'm going to stop away. But going against, like, our main site was supposed to be servicing 34 different medical and dental offices connected to a hospital building right next door to Altabates. And we had that. That was the foundation. And it was like the ground up, whatever you wanted, we could sit there and build. Security, commercial janitorial, landscaping. We had other accounts on top of that, but that was the main ground zero, you feel me? And daddy always gave me these weird ass challenges. He just says, Tamara, I want this done. Get it done. I'm like, okay. So even as my brother did something that was stupid, we sit there and still won the case, though, because we just sit there and protect ourselves against a medical office, one of our tenants, but we still won. Whatever daddy wanted, we did. It was like me and him against the world. Where am I going with this? I have mixed emotions right now, you guys. I'm all over the place. I'm not going to apologize for that because it's between PTSD triggers, including baby daddy, who I ran into last week, and it hurts for, by this time in August this year, we would have had 2 babies. And go figure, how the hell do you get across tied tubes? My tubes are tied since 2011. And I'm careful, I don't sit there and get around like that, but I mean, I was instantly serious. But he found a way to get around that right untied tube. Thus, thank you for giving me a motivation to be on birth control. But he wanted those babies so bad. And prayed for them, and just, with the circumstances, I would have contacted and said, Happy Father's Day. Because even if we don't have our children, and he still harps on the fact that you almost gave me my son. And I do believe that. I believe we have a son and a daughter up there. I know my dad's babysitting. He's like, what the hell is going on? What could have been, right? But things were not meant to happen. Because even with that situation being played out, I was still by myself, losing the baby. Where were you? So all that reaching out saying, I miss you and I love you and I can't stop thinking about you, and this dick is auto hard and trying to sit there and get back in, it's not going to happen. My heart really is broken, but it's not going to deter me from being a good woman. I am surrounded by people who love me and protect me right now. Where am I going with all this? I'm all over the place right now. I am mixed between heartbreak, healing, recognizing energy that does not even belong to me, but still understand the energy. An observation of my ancestors, because daddy is still here, and others who have not even mentioned from the other side. Is so weird because as you're an empath, it's not about being empath. I've had this gift before, and I get it from my dad, and my son has it too. Grandmother has it, my cousins have it. And thank you, Daddy, for bringing me my Uncle Bob. Daddy, I don't know if Daddy was the youngest, but him and my Uncle Bob favor each other. The only person I have over here on this side, left in this part of my region, is Uncle Bob. Him and Uncle Bob are tight. We all came from Louisiana. And it hurts because Uncle Bob, I'll never forget, in 2008 or 2009, because his only daughter that he had, she took her life. So he doesn't have a daughter. And I don't have a father, but, you know, I peep that every time I put flowers on Daddy's resting site. And I saw him last year. I know he's still going through. It's not easy for either one of us. He lost his brother, and I lost my daughter. He lost his sister. He lost his brother and his daughter, and I lost my dad and a cousin, but my dad more so. And so I always see him leaving things for my dad too. We're tight, but we function a whole different way. And never forget, like every time I talk to my uncle, I wish him a happy Father's Day this morning, because I think about him often. And for how the funeral happened, because my dad was murdered, how it happened. And folks didn't know how and what to believe, but he still picked the pieces anyway. It's like, whoa, I know some stuff going on. What's going on? He reminds me so much of my dad. He looks so much like my dad. And the way they speak and the way they interact, I swear he is like an exact clone of my dad. Even to hear his voice. And so as life goes on, there was so much confusion after my dad's murder. And we made peace with that part and still making it right. It really was a blessing for me today to hear from my uncle. And I asked Daddy to send him to me. I know we both love my dad so much. I have all of our family on that side. We're all linked. We all have the same capabilities. That's my only link I have left in California. So it's really nice because I know he's hurting too, because he doesn't have his daughter anymore. I don't have my dad. He reminds me of my dad. I remind him of his daughter. We still have that spiritual connection. I just need my uncle. And I just say, Daddy, thank you for bringing him back to me. Anyway, let me stop. I'm upset. I have animosity because of my mother, who I forgive. Now, like God, I'm watching karma play out. Nothing I wished upon her, but we have a certain way of, from my dad's side, we have a protection thing against us. I love that with us. And I think about some things. It's whatever my brother's pain is, and I feel the pain and why he's so protective over my dad. Just know there's a reason why I'm dope, and I'm the last legacy left. I still have my son, but he still misses something else, but I'm the last part of this. I don't know what my dad sit there and put into manifestation, but the story's not over. I am jealous of my brother because he's up there, at least over there with my dad. He missed my dad so bad because we took it both hard. So while my brother's sitting here spending his thousands that he got from Daddy from life insurance, I'm sitting here fighting with City of Oakland and going between attorneys trying to get judgment orders and making shit happen, having to give my dad a burial, all this shit. I'm always the one in control. And I know it hurt him because of guilt. Again, guilt. He took it worse. Do I believe that you can die from a broken heart? Absolutely. Absolutely. My brother died even from a grand mal seizure. His heart was broken. He wanted to be with Daddy so bad. We miss him so much. There's a lot of regret and guilt in there, but at least you're in a better place. I say it like that. I'm still fighting. I'm still the warrior. You feel me? And I'm not done. So for Daddy, I'm asking, please don't call me home yet. I miss you so much, but I still have work to get done. For my mother, I look at this day right now, and there's some things I will not forgive. There's a reason why there is a domestic violence order against her. And I have things even on recording and videotape for over the years. Not even just from me, even from my brother. I could tell you all kinds of stories. The true narcissist. The mommy dearest. And she's living her guilt right now. So I'll never forget that. And growing up, my mom always had a way of exploiting me to my abusers. She never protected me. And so, we all have to take control of our own situations. But as a child, going to adulthood and being pre-programmed, it's a whole different situation, right? We don't know any better. So my mother would always try to embarrass me. So I embarrassed her by not doing what she wanted me to do. I was always been the yes girl, the overachiever, always accommodating, always do whatever everyone says. And if I argue back or have a question, I get punished. Even for this recent situation with the church I shut down. I had to move her entire congregation, including her, and open up to a whole different era for her as I've been summoned, but she had it for the wrong reasons. My mother had no good intent. So, as my mother was a hoe and cheated with her coworker, not the first time. I could tell you about some times when I've been stuck in bed between her and her lover while my dad was at work, and I'm just coming home from preschool. And these are actual stories. And letting her know, your dude is like touching on me, and I've been molested. Somebody tried to sit there and stick their tongue down my throat, and actually having to file divorce papers or give them to her to file, and she never did anything about it and just covered things up because dude was the breadwinner. We won't go there. But my mother, for Sagittarius, they don't understand. They act on emotion and do things without logic and then suffer the repercussions or consequences after and say, oh shit, I should not have done that, but it's too late now. And then try to cover it up. I love that. I love how people cover up the truth. So for mother dearest, the person I want to have a relationship so bad, even for my brother, my mom really is sick. Whatever's in her body is no longer there. Something else that's there. I believe what the spiritual advisor said, and I'm not the only one who picked it up because even my dad, my stepdad, my stepbrothers, others who have seen and gone through experiences with this, my brother and his friends too have seen some things, and my brother said some shit. It's real. I'm dealing with a different entity. And I had to break myself from that because it will suck you back in. I want to sit there and take advantage of you more. Like, how does that work with life, though? You don't ever take advantage of an angel. So, I'll never forget that when I was a teenager and after my parents divorced, the first time or second time, first time, my stepdad was a raging alcoholic, and my mama knew that, but I guess she just got linked onto the dick, and the dude had a good salary. They worked together. You'll sit there and give your daughter up for dick. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I have resentment in here. I forgive my mother, but I will not forget some things. So, as a little girl in second and third grade, and my mom had control issues, and I always tear up all of my room to sit there to the Mommy Dearest episodes out of anger, and then show my diaries, whatever I'm going through, to the person who molested me, her new husband, right? And leave me at home with that man at night. And so, in fact, he's the one who sat there and taught me how to put a tampon in. But then think that things are going to be okay. But still want to be a mother, still a Christian woman. How does that work? And then in high school, even if I had, and keep in mind, I've been raped since I was like 6 or 7 years old by my brother. And she knew this. I don't hide anything. Never been protected. Just go ahead and just, I don't know how this works. In high school with my ex, my high school sweetheart, who's still a cool ass dude, still homies to this day, still a bestie. But for me acting out based off of what I did since I was a child, she likes to go through things and go through all my stuff. I have no privacy because she has to have control issues. And rather than talk to me like a mother to daughter, she sat there and shared those videotapes with my abuser. The same one who stuck his tongue down my throat and foot up my crotch. And soliciting me for sex. Even for the day that she went to jail in September 2018 because she jumped on him for some other reasons, but he's still trying to fuck your daughter in celebration. But you're still with this dude, though, who you know is not good for you or your child. So even for college, saying that I came home from summer from college, even if I'm not perfect, things that happen. And in the meantime, she allowed this man to not just abuse me, but also my brother, because I have memories of him pinning my brother down and coming at my brother with a billy bat. And I've seen too much abuse between my stepbrothers and my brother from this dude. But my mom allowed this. So I talk about aggression. I feel stop away right now. This is coming to a point with a message. So as I feel all this, I noticed that over the years that my mom, as she exploited me, also destroyed me to exploit me because I'm not her. I'm more truth and my mom is more living on, hiding behind an image and trying to maintain an image and lies. Again, I say that what goes on behind those closed doors does not stay behind those closed doors before reasons like this. You understand? And I've been programmed before to just shut up and don't say shit. If you do, you're going to get punished for it. So after all this has happened, and I had my own house doing my own thing a couple times, and she would sit there and do this pity party manipulation, gaslighting, passive-aggressive type of behavior, but only to her benefit. She expects me to lie, but she thinks I'm like her, and I'm not. I'm not my mother's child. She might have gave birth to me, but I'm not my mother's child. I'm my dad's child. So I'll never forget the things I had built up over this time. So I love my dad because over this time, my dad would always, my mom was a shady ass female. She might be cute in the face front, but she'll sit there and use you just like that. Not just me. She did her own. Anybody who's dead, she'll watch out for your credit. But she would look for any reason to sit there and to just for the benefit. She get bees with honey, but she has an ulterior motive. I say it like that. I know my mom loves to gossip. Everything. I hear everything. But as my dad was always giving things to me, and if you cannot see, my dad was a solid ass dude because he would always send cards, send letters, and aside from child support, whatever else, my dad, even for books, and make sure you know, Tamara, I love you, I'm proud of you, keep the good work up, whatever else. My dad was always there. I had all these things built up for sentimental memories. And as her husband has his erotic behaviors, my stepdad, my abuser, and she covered up for this dude. Let him destroy whatever my dad gave me to sit there and rip it up and just destroy whatever I had. Catching my dad. I feel some type of way. To give your husband, which is now my abuser, my sex tapes, you wonder why he was more connected to me than you and trying to get a hold of me more than you. You gave him that power to sit there and watch your daughter having sex with her her boyfriend, whoever she was with at that time. And I'm still cool with. I don't do flybys like that. But you're trying to exploit me was damaging in your favor. And I'm not the only one he's done that to. To several family members. But she's still with this dude though. Now I forgive that part. I just can't fuck with you. And she knows she's wrong. So where she knows she fucked up, I've never had a relationship with my mom. I wanted so bad to have one with my mother. But she has a pattern of trying to turn whatever genuine intentions into something dark and dirty, and people aren't even like that. There's a reason why my dad sat there and won his case. There's a reason why I'm not fucking with my mom. There's a reason why her sisters call her evil. And so all I know is that even for now, I despise my mother. I forgive her. I don't forget. And I look at karma because some things you never touch. Think about a tomb. Think about a tomb. Some things you just don't touch. You try to sit there and discount things. Don't touch what's not meant for you to touch. So, for Daddy, the day of his murder, on his birthday, I got a call from the job. And Mary Ann sat there and told me, she was like, I got a call from the person who had him murdered. That bitch was scared of me for a reason. That something happened to my dad and he's on such and such hospital. What's going on? And so I'm like, what happened to him? And so by God and divine design, I got a hold of the dude who was staying with me, my old school homie, elementary school friend. Beautiful. He was working at that hospital. I was like, what happened to my dad? What's going on? Something's wrong, because he met my dad too. Everybody knew my dad. And he tells me, your dad got shot. And I'm sitting here panicking. So I put that charge on 100 miles per hour and charging to regardless of what they said, I went to something told me to sit there and go to my dad's house. Something, because he knew the weekend before he got murdered and the night before too, he knew some stuff. And where I hold guilt in is because I am so used to fixing every fucking thing for my mom and my dad. Legal, paralegal, all kinds of shit going on. I will always protect you. Do you guys know that even before my dad had this bitch move back in, that, he said, Tamara, I'm going to have such and such done. I need you to do this. I do it. That's the reason why I'm called Doberman. And he told me before I sat there and had the police escort stand by, everything, get him out of there and get him to a safe place, because they had separate properties. And I understand both sides of some things, but keep my dad safe. Do you understand? When Daddy said, he came the month before and said, I want this bitch out of my house by my birthday. I understood that. But my thing here is that whenever I sit there and fix stuff, I keep being re-brought into stuff. So at some point you have to make that choice for yourself. I'm tired of fixing everybody's issues, and I have to live my life. And Daddy, please forgive me. I love you. So the month before he came over, the month before this issue happened, and he felt some stuff, me and my dad had a conversation, and we put everything on the table. My dad would just pop up. You know what I'm saying? My dad, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way to sit there and have pop-up privileges like that. And he gave us pink slips. And I'm always expected to take care of everything, not just even for him, for my mom too. Like, it's hard being a hero all the time. Daddy, I'm sorry. So in the meantime, while I'm doing with this, and I'm hearing everything, I put some things emotionally in front of him. I sat there and served that bitch some papers because that property not belong to her. I'm trying to sit there and get things done, but still, my thing at the bottom of my heart was like, you know what? I've been through this too much. Just let them go through their own things. He has to make a choice in his life at some point. My he's a fighter, but not on that end. He'll sit there. My dad is like so think about the prisons. My dad's a shot caller. You know what I'm saying? My dad's a shot caller. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? He'll sit there and just say some shit. And me and my brother just fuck up everybody. I love my dad. He trained a Doberman. I'm a beast. I'm a nice beast, but I'm a beast. And Yancey, you sit there and you know what I'm saying? It's like watching my son sit there and do some shit too. Like, whoop his ass. Ass whoop. But I love my dad though. But this round, I still have to live my own life. And I told him, I'll never forget some things I told him. But then, now I said what he was saying, because he's doing this all for me and Yancey and for my son. I get it. And things that he said the weekend before he was murdered, the last time I saw him, you may think you know everything, because I was in my 30s by then. But just keep on living, you'll still understand. And I got it. Sometimes we want to listen as kids, but still think we know everything, but still don't know anything. It carries on. I'll never forget the fact the last words I said to my dad was that thank you. Didn't even know why I said thank you. Just thank you. And so I miss my dad, and it hurts. And I know he feels it. I'm going to take these clothes out the dryer, hang these clothes up. I have a gift for him. Just don't take me away too soon, because I know Yancey's up there with you. And I know grandmother's with you. I know Uncle Willie P is with you. And I miss you. Yes, you can die from a broken heart. I watched my candles dance, and I woke up from some dreams, and I feel him, and I miss him. And it hurts because I know my mission is supposed to be right now. It's like being a fallen angel. He is dancing his ass off right now. I'm a fallen angel. I get it. understand my mission. So no relationships, but just get to know people, but still be careful. But no Dante. Even though I did my mission with him too. I'm not sorry for venting, you guys. And no, I'm not 5150. Some days are harder than others. When you lose somebody, like sometimes the pain becomes unbearable. Sometimes you have your good days and your bad days. And a lot of times your soul knows some things before you do. And my soul is saying a lot right now. I just know the more that I cried, especially with pain, because I feel it in my soul. And just some things, I don't cry like this all the time, but something, if you struck a chord, and to be careful. Because, yeah, you can die from a broken heart. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Not trying to be extra. I'm okay, damn. I'm not sitting there playing daddy's old jams and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I just miss my dad. It's like going away at summer camp, and he sends you a letter. You can't see him sitting there giving him a hug, though. That's what's going on. Anyway, I love you guys.